It was 1945, the night of the graduation dance. The war overseas had just ended. The terror at home
Roy.
was about to begin.
Roy?
Come on. Come on, kid. Don't play hard to get. What about New Year's Eve?
Well, that was different. I couldn't help myself.
The Prowler. If he wants you, he'll get you. Tonight, the terror begins again.
They never found out who did it. But it had to be someone in town, someone who knew that she was called Rose. And Mark, that guy still might be around here.
Oh, I don't believe this. You're talking about something that happened over 30 years ago.
Whenever the time was right, he'd come back. The Prowler. If he wants you, he'll get you. Night after night, he waited for her. The Prowler. If he gets you, you'll wish you were dead. You may think you're safe, but you're dead wrong. The Prowler, coming soon.
Hello guys, we're back here for another Cult Vault review. This time we got a recommendation from our good friend Mario, all the way from Spain. He dropped his recommendation on our Facebook page. And we're doing The Prowler, 1981, by director Joseph Zito. Joseph Zito was actually a big Canon Studios guy back in the 80s, because he did the Invasion USA, Red Scorpion, Missing in Action, and funny enough, he did the Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. This film, I believe, was shot in Canada. It's one of the main ones that came out right in the birth of the slasher film genre. Obviously, Halloween started that, but this one came out, I believe, the same year. The first Friday the 13th was being shot and also came out, and also My Bloody Valentine. So it was like a big year for slasher films. The Prowler, first time watching it, like I said, recommended to us by a good friend, and just finished watching it, and it's very fucking good. Well acted, great effects, good cinematography and atmosphere. I was actually thrown aback by this one. I didn't expect it to like it as much as I did. It caught me right from the beginning. It starts off in black and white with stock footage of wartime, World War II stuff. All the soldiers are coming back. They're in the ports coming off the ships. All the wives and families are waiting for them, and it's intercut with a letter to the main protagonist of the film. You don't see him, but you see the letter, and you kind of get the gist of what's going on. Basically, she dumps him before the war ends. One of the typical, I'm too young to be waiting for you from the war and stuff. And so she has a new boyfriend and moved on from him. So that is the moving motivation for our serial killer in this film when he gets back to the States. his ex-girlfriend now has the new boyfriend, and they are in some sort of ball in a sorority house or whatever in New Jersey. And they're out in a gazebo making out and stuff, and that's when they get butchered by this guy. First time you see him. Cool look to him. He dresses like a soldier. He has like a face shield of some sort. He has a big pitchfork that you see on all the posters and stuff. The Prowler. And basically, you get that first kill is pretty much the backstory. Now we flash forward to what I believe is like 1981 or something. And it's the same town in New Jersey. And now this ball is happening again with this new generation of teenagers. And so the Prowler starts to make a comeback. The story within itself, it's kind of cool. You see the motivation. The main teenagers of the film are believable. I like the acting in this a lot. I felt like the main girl was very vulnerable and very believable. She wasn't too over the top. She was not obnoxious. I believe that the love interest, the young sheriff, was very, very good as well. Also believable and not redundantly stupid like most sheriffs in the town are. I felt like everything that was happening was pretty well believable and done. The killings in this film are very gruesome, very detailed, and very well made. This was also done from Tom Savini's, one of his earliest works. I'm assuming he was doing this and Friday the 13th one at the same time. And right from the beginning of Tom Savini's career, his work was such high quality and realistic that it just like blew my mind. I could only imagine being in a theater at that time and seeing a slasher film like this and seeing these brutal kills in such detail for the first time. It must have been something else. There's a scene in the beginning where there's a couple that gets killed in a shower, and the boyfriend gets impaled with a knife right through his head. And it's so well done. It's so gross. His eyes turn milk white and they're bulging out and everything's just foaming at the mouth. And the camera just stays there until like he pretty much dies. It's just like a long, quiet scene of just like gargling and just the killing. And it's brutal. It's gross. I mean, a lot of the kills in this film are really, really cool. Like, it threw me off guard how well made and how gruesome they were. I expected to see some cool stuff here and there, but it's very cool and it's very well done. Just the kills alone are worth the watch of this film. The whole story revolves around, I guess his ex-girlfriend was named Rosemary. So every time he kills somebody, he places a rose on them. And that's sort of his calling card, which kind of adds to his character. It's kind of a cool character. He has a cool vibe. He has a cool look. He has a little calling card. I really dig the Prowler. The Prowler. Cool name too. Like I said, the cinematography is cool. There's a lot of stuff that I feel they borrowed from Halloween. The end scene where she's basically running from room to room in the main house reminds me a lot of Halloween's end scene. There's even one shot that reminds me a lot of the very famous Jamie Lee Curtis shot. It's kind of forced perspective where she's by the bedroom and Michael Myers gets up from the bed. There's a scene very similar in this where the main girl is running from him and she runs behind a wall. And behind her, you can see the other room out of focus and you see him wandering in the background looking for her. And it looks almost tit for tat. Like they borrowed from it. But it's done in a way where it's their own. And I didn't mind it. It's like, I understand. You see something cool and you want to incorporate it. That's how you do it. You make it your own and it works. I feel like the whole way the film is shot, the atmosphere, there's a lot of night scenes. There are very little day scenes in this movie. So it's very atmospheric. It was a very... It was a pleasure to watch this movie. It's very short. It's about an hour and 20 minutes. I'm sorry. It goes by quick. There's no dragging scenes. I feel like it was edited very well from beginning to end. It had me going. There's no scenes where I'm just like, oh my God, just get to this already. Everything is perfectly paced. All the teenagers from the beginning of the film that are friends with the main character are just there to pretty much be slaughtered. But like most movies, they do that. They introduce all these characters and they give you too much time with these characters that you know are just going to get killed anyways and you don't care. This movie just gets to the point. You get to know these girls, and within the first 30 minutes, most of these people are dead already. And it's great because it sets the tone for the movie. It sets the tone for who the Prowler is, how effective he is. I like the whole idea that it's a soldier, so it's a trained killer who knows how to use multiple weapons, and it's believable. He's a hunter. He knows what he's doing. I'm surprised that this movie hasn't gotten a real deal like remake now, because it's a standalone film. They never made a series of it. So you can easily take that idea and make a new franchise of it if you wanted to. Like I said, he's a professional killer that knows how to kill people in various ways using various weapons. He has a cool look that he can blend into like forests and stuff. It's a very cool idea. I highly recommend the Prowler, you know. Thank you, Mario, for this suggestion. I totally loved it from beginning to the end. And it'll be now on my must-watch list as we go into Halloween seasons. It'll be added to my little library there. If you haven't seen the Prowler, I highly recommend it. It's available on Tubi. It's available on Amazon Prime. It's on Shudder. I watched it on Amazon Prime. If you go to Tubi, it'll be similar to what I spoke about with Neon Maniacs. The quality is a lot lower and it's got commercials in it. So, but it's everywhere if you wanted to see it. It's pretty easy to find. Highly recommended. The Prowler. Mario, thank you for the suggestions. If you guys have any other suggestions of cult horror films, whether I've seen it or not, that I haven't thought of doing a short review like this on, if you go to our Facebook page and just look for The Creatures of the Night, we have a group and you can just put your suggestions there. Otherwise, you can go to thecreaturesofthenight.com. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and of course, our YouTube channel. So until next time, thank you guys for watching.